Death metal hails from Finland. This time we go to a rather new band from 2020 called Indemon. Previously, I got to review their EP from 2 years ago, or was it 3 years ago? Time flies by so quickly. And now they are out here with the debut album, Reclaiming Chaos, which is very basic, 32 minutes of an album, 8 tracks, no bullshit, very simple design, lyrics, band photo, liner notes, and that's it. And this is a curious band because their style is old school death metal, yet they are indeed very new band with just a couple of releases now out. Now the previous EP was decent stuff, but nothing out of ordinary. But then again, neither is this one, but it's a step up from the previous works. A quick look at the band here, coming from Kerava, smaller city in Finland, and only one single, one EP out prior to this Reclaiming Chaos debut album. And the previous album was more like, let's do Swedish death metal the Finnish way. Think about Entombed AD, Entombed, maybe a little bit Dismember and so on, and you roughly have the idea what's going on. So the so-called Sunlight sound, except not exactly true, but close enough, let's say this much. So the new album is very stripped down in so many ways, and it's going back to the very core of Swedish sounding, or should we say Nordic sounding death metal. Nordic sounding is a little bit misleading because obviously Finnish death metal is very different from your typical Swedish sounding, not to mention when we're talking about Danish or Norwegian. So more like Finnish guys doing Swedish sound. I think that's close enough to give you an idea what is going on around here. Now, like I said, the previous EP was pretty good, but still a little bit demo-ish in a way, but still also on the better side of things. This is a step up in so many ways. Not maybe a major step, but step nonetheless, and I think it's really nailing down this particular band as one of the promising death metal acts coming from Finland. What do I really like is that the riffs are simple and sweet, but more like also effective and interesting. They are like giving the 1990s kind of a vibe with this stuff, but without being one of these boring retro revival OSD acts who have no idea what it is, sound like old school while trying to do that so hard. So-called tryhards in a way. Indemon is more like, let's tap to the 1993 or whatever, maybe even earlier than that, and just create riffs which are really smooth and at the same time very nice groove and flow. And you have faster paces, you have mid-tempo phases, you have guitar solos which fit the theme, and then again you also have more kind of aggressive pounding, but nothing like blast beats or stuff like that. So if Entomb, Dismember, and then things like that, with the melodies included, come to your mind, I think you are in the right game here. Now, obviously, if you're already bored with old school death metal stuff, or it never was your game to begin with, then again, Indemon has really nothing actually to offer to you. But if you're an old school death metal fan, like I am, then this is like good news to you. I think this band is progressing, it's going through its micro evolution in a way, and the pace how they are doing it is pretty sweet. I mean, only a couple of years ago, the EP, which was promising, and now this is topping that. This is getting actually very close to so-called gold standard in terms of Swedish death metal. And by that, I really mean the bands like early Entomb, Dismember, Grave, etc. So, yeah, there is something really sweet going on. Because this is a very simple and straightforward album, there is nothing much I can really tell you apart from what I've already said. So without further ado, give the links a go if you think this is your cup of music. I find it interesting and I hope you will too. As always, if you like it, go buy it and check out the links included in the description box for you to find out. Bye.